Catholics oppose the mandate.
It blocks our mission of teaching our faith. So, and I think that's the key. That's the central reason why this mandate is so bad and why it's upset so many people, and why it really is contrary to religious liberty, is that it's directly blocking our liberty, our freedom to teach as a Catholic university or as a Catholic hospital. And it's as if the government came in and said, well, look, you don't have to intend that anyone look at pornography, but we require that you make available, say, pornography in your libraries. Or if the government came in and said that, okay, you're going to have to remove the crucifixes from all of your classrooms, that would not be formal cooperation with evil if we did that. I mean, we would not be intending that evil be done. We need not intend that anyone look at the pornography if we put it into our libraries. But it would be a compromise, a betrayal of our mission. What it would be doing is the government would be intervening and preventing us from teaching as a Catholic university or as a Catholic hospital. And so it is here. It's the government intervening and preventing us from teaching as a Catholic university or as a Catholic hospital. We teach by what we do as well as by what we say. We teach by our deeds as well as by our words. And so when we are forced to treat contraception in the same manner as flu vaccines or regular checkups, health checkups, then what we are being done is we are prevented from teaching, exercising our religion, exercising our teaching mission.
As bad as the current mandate is, it could get even worse.
Could this lead to requiring hospitals to provide abortions? It already is in a way, at least insofar as it's requiring Catholic hospitals, Catholic universities to provide insurance and therefore to pay for abortifacient pills. The morning after pill, the Ella pill. The Ella pill, without question, is in many instances an abortifacient. The other thing is, I think I don't think the government would make the next move. I don't think would be to try to require hospitals, Catholic hospitals, say, to directly provide abortions. I mean, I could be wrong. Things are moving along much faster than I would have expected anyway. But still, I don't think that would be the next move. I think what they could do, though, I think the same argument could be made that is made for these mandates. Is an argument could be made for saying, well, okay, we're not going to force you to provide the abortions, or we're not going to force your doctors to provide the abortion, but we're going to require that you provide a room or an office in which these things can be done. And so we'll send in our government abortionist, and we'll send in Planned Parenthood abortionists to do the deed. But you're going to have to require you're going to have to have part of your facilities be used for that. And so they could argue, well, this is not formal cooperation, except it would be another encroachment. And I don't think it would be different in principle than the kind of encroachment that's being made here, because the kind of encroachment that's being made here is to force us to actively aid in these actions that these people have said that they have a free choice to make. But if they have a free choice to make it, that's one thing. To compel us to pay for their choices, to pay for these choices, which we think are objectively immoral and bad for them as well as bad for the whole cultural atmosphere, that's against religious liberty, and it's against the First Amendment, I think, free exercise of religion, and it's unjust. It goes beyond the scope of what the government should do. The government, yes, part of what the government should do is to promote health, but this is not really a health measure. Okay? This does not contribute to the functioning of any of the systems of the human organism. It doesn't build up or harmonize the various functions of the human organism. That's what health is. is correcting some disease. And so what this mandate does, it requires us to treat pregnancy as if it were a disease, and to treat contraceptives, sterilizations, abortifacients as if they were health procedures, and they're not health procedures.
I don't have a whole lot of doubt personally, and I mentioned in my column last month that I think if this decision holds, there'll be a movement in that direction. I think the first thing might well be to require Catholic hospitals to provide abortion services. I certainly can see that on the horizon. I'm not going to say it's going to happen next year or the year after, but I think the momentum would be in that direction. I don't have much doubt about that.
The first outrage was the abortion decision that struck down abortion laws. And because there we have to go back, this has been almost 40 years, where now it is the law of the land that there's a whole class of human beings, unborn human beings, who do not have rights, who are denied equal protection of the law. That's the first outrage. The second outrage, now this has been in the last 3 years with the Patient Protection and Access to Health Care Act, that there are debates about whether the government should be that directly involved in providing health care. That's another issue. But if it's going to provide health care, it should only provide health care, not access to the killing of human beings. But part of the Obamacare, part of this new health care act has been to have government involved in health care to the extent of making sure that women have access to abortion, not the women and then the boyfriends of the women and so forth. And so now already, so the second outrage is that all citizens are going to be compelled to fund, to contribute to the funding of abortions. That's the second outrage. Then the third outrage is that we as Catholics and other religious entities are now required to fund contraception, sterilization, and some abortions in a very direct manner by our insurance policies. So even if they stop on the third one, you have the first two outrages that are still there.